Pause, Ms. Gilman. Sir, where is this in the Lowe's and Danvers?
This is at the front end in the self-checkout area.
If you could press play, Ms. Gilman. Thank you. Pause, Ms. Gilman. Thank you. Sir, what angle are we looking at here?
This is the angle from the actual, the self-checkout register itself, so the camera in front of it.
So the self-checkout registers have cameras pointing out towards the customers as well?
Yes.
If you could press play, Ms. Gilman. Thank you. Pause. Thank you. Sir, what is this angle we're looking at?
This is our main exit.
Thank you, Ms. Gilman. If you could press play. And Ms. Gilman, I'm going to ask if you could pause one more time. Sir, now where are we looking at when the camera says 60655?
This is the parking lot at 6:06:55.
And is this PM or AM?
This is PM.
Thank you. You can press play, Ms. Gilman. Thank you. So, sir, does Lowe's maintain receipts for its sales?
Yes.
And does it do so in the normal course of business?
Yes.
And in good faith?
Yes.
And I assume the customer gets a copy of the receipt, correct?
Yes.
But does Lowe's maintain a copy digitally?
Yes.
And do you have access to that?
Yes.
And was one produced as a result of these videos to law enforcement?
Yes.
You may.
Thank you. Sir, do you recognize that document?
Yes.
Is that a receipt from, upside down, but now that it's right side up, is that a receipt from the Lowe's in Danvers?
Yes.
And it corresponds to the video that you just displayed for us?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit 196.
Any objection?
No objection.
Lowe's receipt is now in evidence, from Danvers is now in evidence as 196.
Thank you, Your Honor. In Your Honor, if the Commonwealth may publish exhibit 196, the receipt from Lowe's.
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, thank you so much. You've already expanded it. So, sir, looking at the top, what does sales number mean?
This is where the actual sale took place, so I guess you could say it's a terminal.
Okay. And what's the significance of SFT lane 413?
Yeah, so that is our fast lane, or just another way that we can say self-checkout.
Okay. And transaction or trans number, what is that significant of?
It's the transaction number, so whatever number that receipt rang through.
And at the top right-hand corner, I take it that's the date.
Yes.
Ms. Gilman, can you scroll down to the bottom, please? Now, at the bottom, what was the total for the sale?
$463.26.
And how was the sale conducted, cash or charge?
It was cash.
How much cash was presented?
$500.
And what is the time on the sale?
It is 6:05:45.
Ms. Gilman, if you could close out of that. Thank you. And now, Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek you to play the blurred video from Exhibit 195 of January 4th from Lowe's and Wayne.
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Pause. Thank you. Sir, where is this in the Lowe's in Weymouth?
This is our main vestibule, our
And-
entrance.
What is VDS SRV1 1618 entry PVM mean?
Yeah. So VidSRV1 is the actual, it stands for video surveillance. So it is where our video was stored from, and it's our first terminal. 1618 is the store number, and then the entry PVM is the camera for the entry PVM, or the entry.
And the date and time at the bottom, sir, what are those?
Yeah, it is January 4th, 2023 at 4:24:57 p.m.
And, sir, as far as the date and time for the Lowe's in Weymouth, is that accurate?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman, could you press play? And pause, Ms. Gilman. So, sir, what view are we looking at here?
This is the camera pointing from the self-checkout registers.
And at the bottom, STO term 25, what does that mean?
Self-checkout terminal 25, so it's just the number that that self-checkout terminal is at.
Ms. Gilman, if you could press play. Pause. Sir.
And then I'd like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 35. May I publish that to the jury?
You may.
Thank you. And what is this?
This is the stairwell leading to the basement.
May I publish Exhibit 36, please?
Yes.
And can you tell me what this is?
So if you were standing at the bottom of the stairs looking back up towards the kitchen, this area would be to the left.
And may I publish Exhibit 37, please?
Yes.
And what is this area?
The same if you were to stand at the bottom of the stairs looking towards the kitchen, this area is to the right.
I'd next like to show what's now being marked as Exhibit 204, Exhibit 7, SLD 7476, which is a blank area in the basement. May I publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you please tell me about this area?
This area was in the back right corner of the basement if you were to, again, stand at the bottom of the stairs. In this area, there were several stains that I observed for testing.
And do you recognize those white marks on the floor?
Yes, I do.
And why do you recognize those?
That is small pieces of scale tape that I had put down next to the stains that I wanted to test.
And did you label those?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Gilman, can I ask that you focus in on those, please? And can you tell me, Mr. Sheehan, what those are?
These are stains B, C, D, and E. Stain A is upwards and to the right. These are purple stains that I observed for testing.
Thank you. I'd now like to go to the next exhibit, which has been previously marked as Exhibit 205, SLD 7479, which is the ceiling of the basement. May I publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Can you tell me about this, Mr. Sheehan?
This is the area of ceiling directly above that small area in the basement.
So, what type of testing did you do on the areas that were A through G, the testing that you had shown us through the markers?
On stains A through E, I did the screening tests that I talked about earlier, and all of those results on A through E were positive for blood.
And that was the same kind of screening test that you described previously to us?
Yes.
I'd now like to show what's been marked as Exhibit 206, SLD 2482. This is Exhibit A. May this be published?
Yes.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is stain A.
And this is something you previously explained to us.
Yes.
And was this one of the areas that you tested?
Yes.
And was this positive?
Yes, it was.
And was this done, how did you learn that this was positive?
By doing the screening test.
I'd next like to go to Exhibit 207, that being 7487, this being closer up of the purple stains. I'd ask that this be published.
You may.
Thank you. Do you recognize this, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, I do.
And if I could ask you to zoom in, Ms. Gilman. And can you tell me what you see in B?
Stain B is the purple staining that I observed for testing.
Thank you. Could you go to C, Ms. Gilman? And can you tell me what you see there?
This is stain C for testing.
Thank you. If you could go to D, Ms. Gilman? And can you tell me what you see there?
This is stain D.
And could you go to E, Ms. Gilman? And Mr. Sheehan, could you tell me what you see there, please?
And this is stain E.
Thank you. If we could now go to what's been marked as Exhibit 208, 7536. And I'd ask, and this is the stair, I'd ask that this be published for the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Can you tell me what this is specifically?
This is the bottom step in the basement. The bottom step was broken.
And specifically, what do you see with your writing on it?
On the right side of the broken piece of stairs, there was an additional purple stain. I labeled it as stain F.
And if you could zoom in on that, Ms. Gilman? And is that what you're referring to, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, I'd ask that you now show Exhibit 38. And Mr. Sheehan, what is Exhibit 38?
This is their stairwell leading to the kitchen with a support beam directly below it.
Below it or behind it?
Behind it.
Okay. And that support beam is significant, isn't that right?
Yes.
And why is that support beam significant?
There was an additional stain, as I labeled it as stain G, that was on the base of the support beam.
Your Honor, I'd next ask that we publish Exhibit 209, which has been previously marked, and it's 7556, and that is stain G.
You may publish it.
Thank you. And what is this?
This is a close-up of stain G.
And so I want to be clear. What type of testing did you do for A through G?
The screening test for the presence of blood.
And what results did you get in A through G?
In A through G, all stains had screened positive for blood.
And how did you identify those stains?
Visually.
And when you say visually, what color were they?
All of these stains were purple in color.
And why were they purple?
The crime scene services section during the scene exam was using a chemical called LCV, and this chemical leaves behind a purple residue and is known to turn potential blood stains to the color of purple.
And when had crime scene services used that chemical?
Earlier in the day during the scene exam.
Was that before you began to go into the basement
Crime Services section uses it for their scene examinations.
And how does LCV impact your testing?
At the scene, LCV does not have an impact. However, in the lab, it is known to hinder the confirmatory test for blood.
What does that mean?
The confirmatory test is done as a second test on stains in areas that had screened positive for blood. As a result, we can confirm the presence of blood, and this LCV chemical is known to, even on positive samples, give a negative result.
So how do you compensate for that in the lab?
In the lab, even if a stain has tested negative for blood, a sample would still be prepared for DNA testing.
So what do you do with a stain once it has screened positive for blood?
The stain itself would be transferred onto a set of swabs for collection and transported to the lab for analysis.
And how is that done? What is a swab?
The swabs are very similar to almost like a Q-tip on a wooden stick, and each sample is packaged in its own manila envelope and then stored in its own container.
So leaving, do you need a second? You okay?
Yep.
Leaving the basement, can you please describe the second floor of the home?
In the second floor, I examined the two bathrooms, which included a master bathroom from one side of the house and a secondary bathroom to the left.
Okay. And what areas did you test on the second floor?
Both of the sinks as well as the showers. There was also a pair of black and blue cleaning squeegees.
Okay. So did you test the drains and the basins?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how did you do that testing?
The screening test was also the same one that I have been using throughout the day.
And what were your results?
All of these areas had screened negative for blood.
And what time do you think you left the house at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset?
Approximately 4:45 in the afternoon.
And were you done with all of your testing?
I was not.
So what happened to the house?
At the end of the day, the decision was made to secure the house, and we would return the next day to continue our exams.
And did you return to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Yes.
And when was that?
The following day on January 9th.
And where did you start on January 9th of 2023?
On the second floor in the front left bedroom.
Okay. And what observations did you make to the front left bedroom?
The bedroom itself was clean overall, aside from a pile of clothing on the floor. I had also noted an area of, it seems like a white residue, and in an area that the varnish on the floor appeared to have been removed.
At this time, I would like to show what's been previously marked as Exhibit 210, which is 7765, that bedroom that Mr. Sheehan just described, and publish it for the jury.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Sheehan, can you describe what you were talking about with the white residue and the varnish, please?
On the area on the floor directly above the MSP placard number 10 and to the bottom right of the pile of clothing is the white residue on the floor.
Is the white residue that you're discussing?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the other area that you were discussing?
It was that same area, the white residue, and that same area appeared the varnish on the floor looked like it had been removed.
And how was the varnish flooring for the rest of the room?
It still had a glossy, shiny coat to it.
Were there any other varnish issues?
Not that I recall.
And did you do any testing in this room?
I did.
And where did you do testing?
Testing was on two additional red-brown stains that I had observed on one of the window curtains, as well as on the purple stain noted with MSP placard number 8.
And what were your Well, what kind of testing did you do?
The screening test for blood.
And what were your results?
On these stains, I had labeled them as stains H and I, as well as MSP plaque number 8, were all negative.
And H and I were the windows.
Yes.
Okay. And did you go back to the room later?
Later on, yes.
Okay. And why did you go back to that room?
At that time, the decision was made to, the crime scene services section was going to remove a portion of the floor. So I removed myself from that area so they could remove the flooring.
And did you direct them to remove the flooring?
No.
And so did you go back after that was done to look at the room?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, Your Honor, I would like to show Exhibit 211, which has been previously marked, and that is 7808, and I would ask to publish that with the flooring removed.
You may.
Thank you. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And is this the area you're talking about that was removed by Crime Scene Services?
Yes.
Okay. And did you do further testing?
I did not.
Why not?
There was no visible staining for testing after the crime scene services section had done their exam.
So while Crime Scene Services worked on the floor, what did you do at that time?
I returned to the basement for a second exam.
Why did you return to the basement?
It's not often where I get to re-examine an area that I had already examined, so I wanted to go back to see if I had missed anything.
And what, if anything, were you looking for?
Potential blood stains.
And where did you first go?
At the top of the stairs, looking down, I observed a red-brown stain that I had labeled as stain J on the wall of the stairwell directly into the doorway.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd ask to publish exhibit, which has been previously marked as 212. That would be 7793, that being stain J.
You may.
Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is the area of stain J.
Ms. Gilman, can you zoom in just a little bit, please? Thank you. And where is stain J?
Stain J is to the right of the scale. It is not visible in this photo.
Okay. And what did you do with the stain?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood.
And what were the results of the screening test?
The screening test was negative.
And then where did you go?
I continued down to the basement.
Okay. And where did you go in the basement?
I returned to an area of black trash bags as well as that back right section that I had examined the day before.
At this time, I would ask to publish Exhibit 213, 7797, the area that Mr. Sheehan just described with the black trash bags.
You may.
Do you recognize this area?
Yes, I do.
And what is this area that you're talking about?
This is an area in the basement that was a little to the left of the area that I examined the day before, towards the back wall.
And I would also ask to publish Exhibit 214, 7802, which is a close-up of that area.
You may.
Thank you. What is this area?
This is the stain identified as stain K.
And what testing did you do of stain K?
I did the screening test for the presence of blood.
And what was the results of that?
The result was positive.
And what did you then collect?
A sample using a set of swabs was collected from the stain.
Did you collect anything else from the home that day?
That day, no.
Thank you. So what did you do with the swabs that you collected from the house at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset on January 8th and 9th of 2023?
I had brought these swabs back along with the knife from above the refrigerator back to the lab to be submitted
For what?
for DNA analysis.
And what did you do with the swabs at the lab once you got there?
The swabs were submitted into our computer system called LIMS.
And were they given a number?
Yes.
And what's the lab number that they were given?
The lab number for the case was 23-00596.
And is that a unique lab number for this case?
Yes.
3.
Tishman Spire.
And what was your title at Tishman Spire?
I'm the Chief Security Officer at Tishman Spire.
And what is your current title?
Chief Security Officer.
And what are your responsibilities?
Physical security for the most part. I do a bit of executive protection, crisis management, so forth.
And what have your previous work experience been to obtain the position that you have at Tishman Spire?
Prior to working at Tishman Spire, I was a Secret Service agent
And how long were you a Secret Service agent?
from until 2014, 1993 until 2014.
And does Tishman Spire have real estate holdings in D.C., and did they in January of 2023?
It does.
And in your work for Tishman Spire, did you know Anna Walshe?
I did.
How did you know her?
She was a coworker assigned to our D.C. region.
And where did you sit in relation to Anna Walshe?
It's an open workspace in our D.C. regional office. Our workstations were probably 10 feet apart from each other.
And what were Anna's specific work projects?
Anna was responsible for our residential properties, specifically in D.C.
And were there any specific properties that she was responsible for that you were aware of?
D.C. Crossing was the major one. In southeast D.C., there was another property under construction called Mazza Galleria, again, under construction.
And in your capacity as Chief Security Officer, would you be apprised of security concerns for your buildings and employees?
I would.
And in your capacity as the Chief of Security for Tishman Spire, are you responsible for employee safety and security?
I am.
Would you be aware of threats on employees?
I would, yes.
And were you aware of any specific threats against Anna Walshe when she worked for you?
No.
What happened when you came to work on January 4th of 2023 in regard to Anna Walshe?
Around mid-morning, late morning, started hearing rumblings of, hey, does anybody know where Anna is? We can't find Anna. Sort of looking for Anna Walshe.
And as a result of not hearing or seeing Anna Walshe, what did you do?
Sent Anna a quick health and welfare text message about 10:57 in the morning.
And how did you do that?
Just a text from my phone to hers.
And was that text received?
I couldn't tell if it was received. It normally says delivered or read. In this instance, it did not.
And as you were reaching out via text, were you aware of other people in your company doing things in relation to looking for Anna Walshe?
It was, yes.
And on that same day, at that same time, did you have an opportunity to speak with Brian Walshe?
I did.
And how did that conversation occur?
I have a coworker. Her name is Ms. Teresa Marchese. She works as an executive in our Human Resources Division. Ms. Marchese had been in contact with Mr. Walshe, and she conferenced me in on a call she had with Mr. Walshe.
Do you know what time that call was?
Sometime after 10:57, after the text. Late morning.
And so once you were on the phone, that conference call, what was initially said about you?
Just introductions. It was mostly Teresa introducing me to Mr. Walshe as Anna's husband. and Teresa introduced me to Mr. Walsh as the chief security officer. And I believe she said either former law enforcement or former Secret Service.
And what was Anna Walsh's husband's demeanor initially?
Initially, very cordial. Hello, how can I help you? Very calm.
And at some point, did that stay the same or change or something else?
It did. Very quickly when I started asking about Anna, his demeanor changed. He got very emotional, unintelligible, to the point where I had to ask him to calm down so I could just understand what he was saying.
And was he able to do that?
He was, yes.
And how long do you think he was unintelligible for?
It was quick, 20 to 30 seconds at most. He was quickly able to reestablish his composure and regain the conversation.
And could you please tell me what Mr. Walsh told you during that phone call? How did that phone call go?
It was, again, very cordial. His demeanor was good. He regained his composure, and when I started asking, hey, when was the last time you saw Anna? What was her location? Words to that effect.
And what did he tell you about the last time he saw Anna?
He indicated he had seen Anna sometime either late on the 31st or early on the 1st of January.
And why did he say she had left?
He indicated that there was a work emergency and that she had left the house en route back to our DC region.
And what, if anything, did he tell you about the amount of time that he had not been in contact with her?
I asked him very specifically when was the last time he spoke to his wife. He said, I noted that it was the 4th of January, and the last time he'd seen his wife was on the 1st. Said it was 3 days. Is that normal? He indicated it was not atypical for them to not speak for several days, but he was now calling work to find out where she was.
And what, if anything, was discussed about the work emergency?
Again, that was coming from Mr. Walsh. He indicated it was a work emergency. He was nonspecific. He didn't know the nature of it. I spoke to Mr. Walsh, said I was unaware of a work emergency that would necessitate bringing Anna back to D.C. I said I would check, but I was unaware of any emergency at the residential properties in D.C.
Did you check?
I did.
Did you discover a work emergency?
I did not.
What else did you discuss during the course of that conversation?
I asked him how, if he believed his wife was headed to D.C., how she got there. Did she fly? Did she take a train? How did she get to the airport or the train station?
And what did he say?
He was unaware. He indicated he did not know.
And what else did you talk about during that conversation?
I asked if he had any mechanism, like most of us have, to find your family in the event of emergency, find my iPhone. I said, do you use that technology with your wife? He said, no, I do not.
What else did you discuss?
I discussed that it was imperative that it was, again, now the 4th. He tells me the last time he saw his wife is on the 1st. It was imperative that he reach out to local law enforcement. I asked him, had he done that? And he said, no, not yet. I told him that he must. I advised him that he should, as soon as we hang up the phone, call his local law enforcement. I asked him what department was the local department. He didn't know. I asked him where he lived. He said Cohasset. And I told him, I said, Mr. Walsh, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to call Cohasset Police Department and report your wife missing. I advise you to do the same.
And what did he say?
He said, I will.
Did you ask him what, if anything, he had done besides call work?
He indicated that he was going to call other family and friends.
Mr. Dunleavy, what name did you use when you spoke with him?
My given name, Hugh Dunleavy.
Do you use any nicknames currently?
Not professionally, no.
So what else did you do in hopes of finding Anna Walsh that day?
Very quickly, other than calling Cohasset Police Department, we did a health and welfare check of Anna's known D.C. residents. We contacted Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department, and I asked 2 officers to meet me there.
And that was that January 4th date?
That was later in the afternoon.
Okay. And so who did you go to the D.C. home with?
Teresa Marchese was already en route there. I advised Teresa not to go in yet, wait for law enforcement. I also took 2 engineers with me to the residence.
And why did you need 2 engineers with you?
With the assumption we knew we didn't have a key, although Teresa indicated she did have the garage code to the townhouse. The engineers were there in the event that we needed to access the interior of the house. They could drill the locks if necessary.
And who did those engineers work for?
They worked for Tishman Speyer.
And at some point, did you again speak to Mr. Walsh?
I did.
And where was that?
Outside of Anna's D.C. residence.
And how did that come about?
I texted Mr. Walsh, based, I believe, on a number that I got from Teresa, to have him call me.
And how was his demeanor when you spoke?
Very calm, very cooperative.
And why did you want to speak with him?
I needed consent for the officers to go inside the residence to do that health and welfare.
And so who did Mr. Walsh speak with?
I told him that MPD police officers were with me. I handed my phone to the officers. The officers engaged Mr. Walsh directly, and I'm assuming he gave verbal consent to them yet.
And when you say MPD, can you just define that?
Sure, my apologies. Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department, MPD.
Thank you. And after the conversation with Mr. Walsh, what next happened?
They gained access, so a cursory search of the outside of the townhouse indicated no forced entry. They gained access through the garage with the garage code that was provided. The interior garage door was locked.
And then what happened?
They asked the engineers to drill the lock to allow MPD into the residence.
And did that happen?
They did.
And what did the police then do?
I'm sorry, say again?
What did the police then do, sir?
They went into the residence by themselves.
Okay. And where were you?
Myself, Teresa, and the engineers remained outside the residence.
And how long were the police inside?
Not long, I would say 15 minutes approximately.
And did you watch the police come outside?
I did.
And who did the police return outside with?
No one, by themselves.
Did you see Anna Walsh?
I did not.
Did anyone seek assistance that day?
No.
So after the initial text and phone conversation to get into the house, did you have any other communication with Mr. Walsh?
Later in the day, sometime around 5 p.m., he texted me asking if I had found Anna's car.
And was Anna's car at the townhouse?
It was not.
Did you begin an investigation into the location of the car?
I did.
And were you able to locate the car?
I was.
Where did you locate that car?
At D.C. Crossing, southeast D.C.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
I'm going to ask if you can pull the microphone closer to you because it will help keep your voice nice and loud. Could you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Teresa Marchese, Marchese.
Where do you work, ma'am?
Washington, D.C.
For what company?
Tishman Speyer.
And what is your role at Tishman Speyer?
I'm a managing director in the Human Capital Management Group.
How long have you been with Tishman Speyer?
Over 20 years.
And what are your responsibilities as the director of the Human Capital Management Group?
A variety of areas. We focus on hiring, recruitment, benefits, employee relations, essentially the life cycle of your employment within the company.
And would this touch upon human resources?
Yes.
Now, what is Tishman Speyer's business?
Primarily real estate.
I'd like to ask you some questions about Anna Walsh. Are you familiar with Anna Walsh?
Yes.
When did you first meet Anna Walsh?
When I interviewed her in November of 2021.
And what position were you interviewing her for?
She had applied for a role in Boston, her regional general manager role there.
And was Ms. Walsh subsequently hired?
Yes.
For what role?
I hired her for a role in Washington, D.C.
And why did you hire her for a role in Washington, D.C.?
We had a role open for quite some time that we were looking for was someone who had a hospitality background, which Anna had, and I thought she would be better suited.
And when was she offered the job in Washington?
She started with us in February 2022 in Boston.
In Boston?
Yeah.
How long was she in Boston for before she transferred to Washington, D.C.?
I believe a month-ish.
Now, in your office space in Washington, and we'll try and let that pass. It's going on. In that office space in Washington, where was Ms. Walsh's desk in relation to yours?
We are in an open floor plan, and so there are 4 seats per quad, I guess. She was about 2 in front of me, I guess.
Now, when she moved to the D.C. area, did you learn where she moved to?
I did.
Where did she move to, roughly?
Friendship Heights.
And what was her compensation when she joined Tishman Speyer?
$220,000 base.
And on top of the base, was there potential for a bonus?
Yes.
Now, did she receive any benefits as a result of becoming a member of Tishman Speyer?
Yes.
What did she receive as far as life insurance?
2 times her annual salary.
And what company provided that policy?
We did. MetLife.
MetLife, thank you.
Yeah.
Your Honor, at this point in time, the Commonwealth would enter into the policy, the MetLife life insurance policy for Anna Walsh as a stipulated to exhibit.
All right, we're marking it as 190, the MetLife policy for Anna Walsh. Now in evidence.
How much was the life insurance policy for?
2 times her annual base salary.
And are you familiar with who the beneficiaries were of the policy?
Yes.
Who are the beneficiaries?
Her husband and her 3 children.
Now, what were her responsibilities in working at the Washington, D.C. office for Tishman Speyer?
She was hired as a co-head of the property management group.
Okay. And so, did she have specific properties she had to manage in D.C.?
She spent most of her time with us at the crossing, but her job was not just that building.
Okay. What other buildings did she have to manage?
Essentially, she had oversight to an extent. She shared it with her counterpart for all of our assets. So there were, honestly, I can't remember at the time how many we have. We're probably 5, 6 now.
Okay. Was there a building called the Mazza Gallery or Galleria?
So Mazza was a development site
Yes.
that we had. It was formerly a mall. Tishman Speyer purchased it under the grounds that we would redevelop, turn it into apartments and some retail.
And did she have any did she have any responsibilities over that project?
Yes.
And you had earlier stated the crossing as well?
Correct.
What type of building was the crossing?
The crossing was a residential apartment building.
Now, in 2022, did the Tishman Speyer offices in D.C. close for the New Year's holiday?
Yes. So New Year's, our holiday schedule rotates.
Okay.
But I believe New Year's Eve, that year we were closed, or it was a floating holiday.
Okay.
And then New Year's Day we're closed.
Okay. And now, when was it the first day that people returned back to the Washington, D.C. offices, if you know?
January 3rd.
January 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, while you worked with Ms. Walsh, was there any problems with her as far as her employment?
No.
Were there any safety concerns for her as far as her employment?
No.
Did she require any physical accommodations while she was employed with you?
No.
When was the last time you saw Anna Walsh?
It was December. It was the 15th, perhaps. We had a women's event in the office.
And at this event in December, I take it was 2022?
Correct.
Okay. And what was her demeanor like at this event?
Normal, happy, social.
And did you see any injuries on Ms. Walsh when you were with her that night or that day at the women's event?
No.
Now, when did you first learn that Anna Walsh was missing?
January 4th.
And how were you alerted that Ms. Walsh was missing?
A coworker came over to let me know that her husband had called the crossing team looking for her.
So with this information, what did you do to try and with this information, what did you decide to do?
I said, you know, I'll reach out to him. Do you have a phone number?
Okay. And what was the name of the person you tried to reach out to?
Brian Walsh.
Now, where did you go to try and reach out to him? Did you call him from your office?
I called him from my cell phone.
Okay. Did anyone did you have anyone with you when you called him?
Yes.
Who was with you when you called him?
The first time I called, Jeff Chod was with me.
Who is Jeff Chod?
At the time, he was the head of our Washington, D.C. office.
And you said you called from your cell phone. About what time did you call Mr. Walsh that morning, January 4th?
Between 10 and 11?
Okay. And did you connect with him?
Yes.
All right. Now I want to ask you about that conversation. What did he tell you in that conversation about Anna Walsh being missing?
So I called, I introduced myself, I let him know who I was, and I just said how, you know, I understand you're looking for Anna, like how can we help?
Okay. And what did he tell you?
He said, so I talked to him multiple times that day.
Certainly.
So I believe in our first conversation, he stated he hasn't seen Anna since the 1st, or New Year's Day, and he was looking for her and wanted to see if any of us had heard from her, and he specifically said, we have only gone 24 hours or more without seeing each other once, and the last time she was, I'm paraphrasing, but annoyed with me for, you know, looking for her too soon.
Okay.
Essentially.
Now, he said he was looking for it. Did he say why he was looking for her in Washington?
Yes. He had said that there was a building emergency that she was called back for.
Were there any building emergencies in Washington, D.C. for the properties that Anna was managing at this point in time in January of 2023?
January of 2020, that date?
Well, between January 1st and January 4th of 2023.
I can confirm on January 1st there was not.
Okay.
I'm not sure about
All right.
second, third, fourth.
So, but there were no emergencies on January 1st.
Correct.
Okay. Now, you're having this conversation with him. Do you offer to do anything during this conversation to help?
Yes.
What did you offer?
I had stated, you know, Anna had shared with me where she lives, and it's not too far from my home. I'm happy to go by and just check to make sure she hasn't, like, fallen.
Now, what was his demeanor like during this first conversation?
He was polite and calm and nice.
And how long was the conversation?
A few minutes.
And after the conversation was over and you had made this offer, what did you do?
A coworker, the one who originally told me about the phone call from the crossing team, offered to drive up with me to the house. And so we did that.
During the conversation with Mr. Walsh, this first one, did you ask him anything about Anna's mental health?
I did.
And what did you ask?
I asked if she had any mental health issues.
And what did he say?
He said, no, we just had a lovely holiday, New Year's with friends.
So I take it at this point in time, you and the coworker went to Anna's home.
Correct.
And about what time do you think you got to Anna's home?
Between 10:30 and 11:30?
Okay. And again, it's your memory that's controlling. So now, when you got to Ms. Walsh's home, what did it look like from the outside? What observations did you make?
Sure. It's a townhome.
Yes.
And so there were steps up to the front entrance. And so if you walk up the steps and you look on the left-hand side, there was an espresso box that was out, and it was wet.
Okay. So there was a wet Nespresso box, and had it rained recently? What's this?
Yeah,
What would have affected? What was the issue of the wet Nespresso box?
On Monday and Tuesday it had rained, but on Wednesday it had not. So that led me to believe Anna had not been out of her home.
Okay. So
that day or before.
And I'm sorry I interrupted you. So you see this. Do you have any further conversations with Mr. Walsh at this point in time?
Yes. So I notified him about the box. I saw a Google camera, like a doorbell camera or just a camera. And I asked him if he had access to it to check the records.
Did he have any access to it?
He said Anna is the tech one in the family. He does not handle that stuff.
And did you ask him about how to try and get inside the house?
So I remember I believe I turned the doorknob and I told him it was locked. And I looked in the window because there's a glass panel.
Yes.
And just to see if it looked like anything was broken into, and it didn't. The house was pretty immaculate.
Okay.
And so I walked down the steps and there was a garage there, and he said, I have the garage code if you can check.
So were you able to get into the garage with the code?
Yes.
What did the garage look like?
The garage was pretty clean as well. There were a few boxes and a painting.
And was there a car in there at this point?
No.
Besides the boxes, did you see anything as far as seats or anything like that?
Yeah, so I saw either a car seat or a stroller. I don't remember right now.
And now, inside the garage, besides these objects, did you see anything out of order, anything broken or anything like that?
No.
And was there anybody in the garage when you got there?
Was there anyone in the garage?
Yeah, is there any
No.
person in the garage?
No.
And now we're going to compete with the heat. So I'm going to ask if you can keep your voice up. All right.
Yeah.
So were you able to get inside the house?
No.
Okay. Why couldn't you get inside the house from the garage?
I just turned the doorknob to see if that was unlocked, and it was in fact locked.
So now you can't get inside the house. Do you have any further conversations with Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, how are you calling him?
My cell phone.
Okay. And so now I want to ask you about the third conversation.
Okay.
When did this occur?
Either at my home, I believe was the third conversation.
Okay. And so what happened at this? So what happened between not getting into the house to the third conversation?
So on my way up to the house, I had spoken with our global head of security,
Yes. Who's that?
Hugh Dunleavy.
Okay. I'm going to
Bring-
ask you not to tell us what you and Mr. Dunleavy talked about,
Okay.
but that you had a conversation with Mr. Dunleavy.
Correct.
Okay. After the conversation with Mr. Dunleavy, what did you do?
I conferenced him into our call with Brian.
Okay. So now I want to ask you about that call. So did you conferenced Mr. Dunleavy into a call with Brian?
Correct.
So you'd already called Brian before getting Mr. Dunleavy on the call?
Yeah, I believe that was the second call, though.
Okay, the second call. So let me ask you about that second call, because I might have jumped ahead. With this conversation with Mr. Walsh, what was his demeanor like in the second conversation
So when Hugh joined,
prior to Mr. Dunleavy joining?
he was polite and calm and nice.
And what did you tell Mr. Walsh about bringing Mr. Dunleavy into this conversation?
I had said, Hugh is ex-Secret Service, and you'll be in great hands.
And what was his demeanor like at that point in time in the conversation?
He sounded like he was crying and said he needed a minute, and, very abruptly returned and said, okay.
And so at this point after that moment, what did you do as far as trying to conference in Mr. Dunleavy?
He was on the phone.
Okay. And so when Mr. Walsh was upset, was Mr. Dunleavy already on the call, or was it before he was on the call?
It was when he was on the call.
Okay. So that's when Mr. Walsh became upset, just so I have the timeline right?
Correct.
Okay. And what happened after Mr. Walsh composed himself in the conversation?
I believe Hugh and I started to ask him a series of questions.
Okay. Did you ask him anything about on his car?
Yes.
What did he tell you about on his car?
We asked the make and the model and the color. He told us it was a gray Volkswagen Taos. We asked about the license plate. He did not know the license plate number. We asked if she had an easy pass. I don't recall
Okay.
what he said.
Did you ask him anything about the house itself?
I did. We asked him if he was on the deed or the mortgage, and if we call the police, if he would be able to grant permission to let someone in. And I believe he said he didn't know if he was on. He did not know if he was on the deed, but believed Anna was on the mortgage, I think.
Okay. And so, did you ask him anything about how Anna traveled to D.C.?
I did.
What did he say?
So I had asked him myself without Hugh on our first conversation.
Yes.
When he told me that she had to leave for an emergency, and he told me she told him she was flying to D.C. And I had said on American, and he said American or JetBlue. I'm not sure which one.
During this conversation with you, Mr. Dunleavy and Mr. Walsh, what did you ask him about calling hospitals?
So back to the second conversation, Hugh and I again asked him how Anna typically came to D.C.
Yes.
And at that point, he said he didn't know if she drove, train, flew. And I believe he said he thought she flew. Then, proceeding to ask questions, we asked if he has called any hospitals, and I let him know that I had asked someone in our D.C. office to call the local hospitals in D.C., and she had called Sibley, Suburban, and GW, George Washington, and Anna was not there, and recommended he do the same in Boston.
And what did Mr. Dunleavy say to him? What was What was the conversation of calling the police?
Towards the end of the conversation, when we were going through what, friends he may have reached out to, suggesting to call hospitals, Hugh had stated to hang up and call the police immediately.
And now, when was the next conversation with Mr. Walsh? Was this at your home?
Correct.
Okay. So this conversation with Mr. Dunleavy, this is part of conversation 2?
Correct.
Okay. So where did conversation 3 take place for you?
My dining room table?
Why did you go to your dining room table from the Walsh residence?
Sure. So after we hung up, I actually went to Starbucks first and called Hugh to say,
I'm not going to ask you what you said with Mr. Dunleavy. I apologize.
Right.
But what I want to ask is more or less like your movements and where you went. So you went to Starbucks and you had a conversation with Mr. Dunleavy.
Correct.
Okay. Now, after having your conversation with Mr. Dunleavy, where did you go next?
My home.
Okay. Did anyone go with you to your home?
My coworker that drove me.
Okay. So then you're at your home. When is it, how long are you at home before you have your third conversation with Mr. Walsh?
So it was close to 1 p.m.
Okay. And what was the subject of this conversation? Can you tell us about it?
Yes. I can't recall. I know I spoke 4 times to him. I can't recall 3 or 4 if I called him or he called me, or if Hugh had asked me to call him.
Did he mention anything about filing a police report?
Yes.
What did he say?
So Brian called me to let me know that he had just hung up with the police and they were filing a police report.
And did he say anything about calling on his friends or acquaintances?
Yes.
What did he say?
He mentioned he called someone named Alyssa and someone named Amdullah or Abdullah.
Okay. What was his demeanor like in this phone call?
Polite, calm, the same.
The same. What did he mention about private investigators?
At the end of the conversation, he had said his mother wanted to hire a private investigator.
Overruled.
Okay. And then, now, did you have a fourth phone call with him?
I did.
And about what time do you think the fourth phone call was?
I don't recall.
That's okay. And do you have any memory of the fourth phone call?
Yes.
Okay. What's your memory of the fourth phone call?
Give me a second.
It's okay.
At some point, I know was to text him Hugh's phone number.
Okay.
I know we were talking about the hospitals, friends, private investigator. Yeah, I to be honest, I don't know if the private investigator was on the fourth call or the third, so we might have blended, yeah.
Understandable. It's been 3 years. Now, ma'am, in addition to having phone calls, did you have any other ways of communicating with the person you thought to be Brian Walsh that day?
There were text messages.
There were text messages. Your Honor, may I approach with Exhibit 163?
You may.
Ma'am, can you take a look at Exhibit 163? It's 2 pages. It's front and back.
Okay.
Do those appear to be your text messages between you and the number that you thought to be Brian Walsh's?
Yes.
If you could just say that into the microphone.
Yes.
So, when you were texting him, and he was texting you, there was a reference to, in the last text, are there Tishman Spire personnel at the Mazda building? Thanks. Did you respond to that text?
I did not.
So that was the last communication you had with Mr. Walsh.
Correct.
Now, were there any further phone calls after that?
After the January 5th text message? No.
Yeah, okay, exactly. So there's no further communication with Mr. Walsh after the January 5th text message.
Correct.
Had you ever talked to Anna Walsh about having the children in DC, her children in DC?
Yes.
What did she tell you about having her children in DC?
We talked a few times about it. I'd say the first time was when she was, taking the offer and moving. We
Yes.
would talk about different areas and schools. And she had said that she would probably bring them down. I think the first time was in the summer, which made sense when they get out of school.
And was there a subsequent conversation about the children coming down after the summer?
Yeah, so I believe in the summer or at an event, we had chatted, and she had mentioned to me that they'd be coming down in September.
And were there any further conversations after September about the children moving down to DC?
No.
Okay. Now, after seeing Anna Walsh at the women's event for Tishman Spire in December, have you seen Anna Walsh since?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-exam?
Thank you.